Today we're going to be talking about the Civil War, but to be honest with you, we could talk about the Civil War for a whole school year and another school year and another school year and probably not get through half of it because there's so much to go through. So let's just get a brief rundown of what we have here. We have a war that starts in 1861 and lasts until 1865. 4 years, or 5 Aprils, a well-known book, Across 5 Aprils by Irene Hunt. I think I had to read that in school. We have, in that amount of time, we have about 680,000 or so people who have died because of battle. And that includes people who died from wounds and sickness, not just people who actually died while the fighting was going on. And that's important to know too, because infection and diseases killed almost twice as many people as the actual battle itself did. A lot of people will tell you that the Civil War, or they used to, was about states' rights and the state's ability to choose, and because the South was so different in the North. But as we learned, the big differences over the years, every time we've come across something, has been slavery, slavery, slavery. And so the Civil War happens over slavery because the differences between the North and the South are about slavery. And at first, the Civil War is not about freeing the slaves. At first, the Civil War is about keeping the Union together, keeping the country together. But that's not really a good enough reason as time goes on. And Lincoln's an interesting man as he's running the war because his views change over time, which is one of the things that really makes him a great leader and a great president, is that he can learn, he can take information in, and he can change. And so due to all sorts of things, emancipation proclamations and that free the slaves in the Confederacy, and other changes of agenda for the North, the war turns into a war to free the slaves. Like, this has got to be our ultimate goal, is to bring freedom to all those people being held in bondage in the South. And so the end result of the Civil War, although it did not begin to free the slaves, is it frees the slaves and it ends slavery in the United States of America, which is the most important outcome of that war. Really interesting things happen in the Civil War. There's all sorts of stuff people can study. People are very literate. They write lots of letters, okay? Home, nobody censors their letters or makes sure that there's anything in there that shouldn't be. So we have lots of information and lots of records that are kept about what battle was actually like. Lots of technology changes during the Civil War. Weapons become more advanced, which is one of the reasons why the casualties are so high. Photography really gets going around the time of the Civil War, so we actually have pictures of Civil War battlefields, but they still can't take pictures of moving things yet. So they can only take pictures of people who stand really still or things that don't move. So most of the pictures that come out are after the battle, but people actually can see what battle is really like. Lots of things are published in the newspapers, lots of reporters going down to the battlefields. Medicine changes a lot because of war. And I mean, just to get an idea of what medicine was like at the start of the Civil War, is they had no real idea about germs. And so the operating table, if you went to be operated on after battle, when the surgeon started in the morning, his instruments would be clean. But by the end of the day, they were really dirty because he didn't wash them. So you would have a better chance of living if you were operated on in the morning than you would in the afternoon, because in the morning you would have been operated on with nice, brand new, clean saws and all sorts of things they stick in your body. Okay? Weapons, photography, nursing becomes a big deal with so many people being wounded and killed on the battlefield, and women start to become nursing. It's first men, and then it turns to women, and like 50,000, I think, women become nurses during the Civil War. One of the most famous is Clara Barton, and she basically is the one who starts the Red Cross, and the Red Cross is still around today, providing relief to people from disasters and war and things like that. So there is a ton going on during the Civil War. Okay, besides for death and dying, you have the culture of a country that changes from a country that allows slavery to a country that outlaws slavery. You have technology changes. You have medical changes. You have all sorts of stuff going. Telegraph. People can communicate over wires now by tapping a message. Beep, 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 beep. But, somebody has to be on the other end counting the dots so that they can, kind of like secret code, they call it Morse Code. So if you ever want to know what that was. So you tap the code, it would go over the wires to another station, and the person would write the code down and relay the message. So that's a huge advance in technology. It's one step away from a telephone. Railroads are important. Railroad technology is important. Transportation is important. So you have all sorts of things. So what I want you guys to do today is, there's no way I can possibly teach you everything about the Civil War before the school year's over. Never mind in a couple days. So I'm going to give you guys a variety of topics, and I'm going to allow you to explore through different aspects of the Civil War depending on what interests you.